Karla Dyson, a restaurant waitress, lives a normal life like a single mother with her 6-year-old son Frankie. She fights for custody of her son with her husband, who lives far. One day, Karla took Frankie for a walk, to a local carnival or amusement park. They were so happy to spend time together. She temporarily abandoned her son, because she was receiving a phone call from her attorney, discussing custody of her son, Frankie. After she finished calling, she came back, but her son disappeared, leaving behind his toy voice recorder. Very frantically, she looked for her son here and there, but couldn't find him.
Boy with short curly hair?
What's his name, honey? Is it Marco or Frankie?
Frankie!
Should I call the police?
Yes, call the police! Marco!
Karla saw a very suspicious woman aggressively dragging Frankie into a green Ford Mustang, without a license plate. When the car was running, Karla desperately tried to stop it, by sticking her body on the side of the car. As a result, she had to lose her cell phone. Karla then rushed to her car, and stepped on the gas, and then immediately chased the kidnapper. Karla tried to ask for help, from other drivers she passed, but her attempt was thwarted by the kidnapper. Karla continued to chase the kidnapper. She was speeding, something that she had never been done before. For a moment, she lost track of the kidnapper's car, but she kept praying and trying, until she finally found the kidnapper's car again. In pursuit, one of the kidnappers spilled the contents of the tool bag onto the road, so Karla braked suddenly, and of course slowed it down. Not only that, they also threw Karla's car with the car tools, but strangely, none of the other drivers noticed this. Even the kidnapper threw a spare tire at Karla's car, which made it sway and hit other drivers, until an accident occurred. A woman from the kidnapper forced her to get off track, and threatened to kill Frankie, if she continued to chase him. While Karla complied in thinking of alternative ways, until she finally followed the kidnapper's car again. Karla played her son's toy voice recorder. It was revealed that one of the kidnappers' names was Margot, complete with a recording of the conversation between Frankie and Margot, when Margot pretends to know him and also his mother. Karla saw the police patrol behind her. She tried to attract attention from the police patrol, by driving a zigzag. Apparently Karla managed to get his attention. The police officer told her to pull over. She protested that she's innocent. Instead she wanted to report that her son had been kidnapped. The kidnappers did not remain silent. He crashed into Karla's car, and trapped the police motorbike between the two vehicles, whereupon the police officer was thrown off the highway and killed. For a moment, Karla stopped in the grassy field and asked the kidnappers to free her son. She offered money or even anything, as long as her son was released. Instead of accepting her offer, Margot, one of the kidnappers, gets out and forces her to get into Karla's car and accompany her. Margot demands a ransom of $10,000 for the release of her son. Margot ordered Karla to follow her gang's car. On the way, after entering the tunnel, Margot attacks Karla, but she manages to fight back, and throws Margot out of her car. Karla wears Margot's sweater, intending to trick the gang into thinking that Margot is still with her. But eventually, she realizes that Margot is no longer with Karla, and asks Karla not to follow him again, by threatening to throw Frankie on the highway. Karla was forced to obey. For a few minutes, she lost track of the kidnapper, while trying to ask for help from anyone she met on streets. Meanwhile, she saw a traffic jam on the highway, caused by a car accident, where it turned out that the car belonged to the kidnapper. One of the drivers said that he saw a man take a boy out of the ill-fated car. No wasting time, Karla stepped on the gas, and chased after him. Karla stopped for a moment at the police station, to report the incident. She was astonished, after seeing a poster of a missing child, that was a decade, and still not found. It made her doubt the police, and she was afraid that her son would suffer the same fate, as the child on the poster. She decided to continue the search for his own son herself. In a parking lot, Karla saw the kidnapper steal a black Volvo, and chased him until her car ran out of fuel. Karla frantically stopped a passing car, to hitch a ride and chase after the kidnapper, but they didn't realize that the Volvo hit her, which killed the driver and knocked her unconscious. When Karla wakes up from her stupor, she approached the Volvo but did not find her son. The kidnapper suddenly got out of his stolen Volvo and shot Karla. When the kidnapper tried to attack her again, his car skidded, which caused him to fall into the forest and fatally hit a tree. Karla approached him, and asked where her son was, but the male kidnapper was killed without any answer. Karla finds his ID card, and finds out the name of the kidnapper, Terrence Vicky, and also the address, where he kept Frankie. When Karla arrived at Vicky's house, it was night. The kidnappers put Frankie in the warehouse, and it turned out that it was not only Frankie, but there were 2 girls who were kidnapped. Karla sneaks into the kidnapper's house, and tries to call 911 using the landline, when Margot goes out to find Vicky. Karla went straight to the warehouse, and managed to save Frankie. Margot returned home, and realized that Vicky had died. Karla and her son ran from the warehouse. She also promised the 2 girls to come back to pick them up. To distract Margot, Karla rowed an empty boat in the lake, and jumped into the water and hid in it. But unfortunately, Margot's pet dog managed to sniff out the whereabouts of Karla and Frankie. Margot realized that they were hiding underwater, but Karla managed to drag her into the water, drowned her, and killed her pet dog, with Margot's rifle. As promised, she returned to the warehouse, to save the 2 girls, but a man claiming to be Margot's neighbor, who was also the brains of the kidnapping gang, came. He pretended to be nice, and would help Karla. She couldn't believe it. How did the man know that there are 2 girls being held captive, even though Karla has not told the man that they are 2 girls? Sure enough, feeling cornered, the man pointed his gun at Karla. She secretly took the shovel that was nearby, and then hit the man, and killed him. Police finally arrived. Karla and Frankie were rescued, as were the 2 girls. The media praised her, because Karla had succeeded in rescuing children from kidnappers, thus Karla's actions had led to the disbandment of the International Child Abduction Network. This was also done elsewhere, in the United States and the rest of the world. Karla was considered a hero by the media.